flowchart. Why does NCTB include flowchart in your syllabus? How to answer the flowchart? These are the questions. Flowchart is a flow of information or series of information. Suppose when we read a novel or book or any newspaper, we collect information. When we listen to TV news, we collect information. When we talk to each other or one another, we transfer information. So, collecting information is a very important factor. That's why NCTB includes flowchart to test the ability of a student or improve the ability of a student or increase the ability of a student to pick up information from a context. That's why NCTB include flowchart in your syllabus. Suppose, and how do you answer flowchart? Please friend, when you listen to TV news, the newsreader read out the headline. Suppose national news, international news, sports news, corona update, etc. After reading out the headline, then the newsreader supply special information for a special headline. If suppose you are watching the TV news, after listening the TV news, if I asked you, what's the update of coronavirus today? You will not give me the supply of the information of sports news information or national news information or international news information. You will answer me, what's the update of coronavirus? In the same way, there will be a context set in your exam paper. It's a question number 2 of your first paper. You have to go through the context and find out the information, and you have to write down all this information in the box. You may question me, which information do you write down in the box, or what kind of information do you write down in the box, and how do you write down this information in the box? Friend, if you very carefully read the question paper, you will find a question above the context. It's a different type of question. Most of the time, or sometimes always, the question below the context. But here you will find the question above the context. Suppose there is a context about pollution. When you go through the context, you will find the different kind of pollution. Suppose air pollution, water pollution, air pollution, odor pollution, environment pollution, different kind of pollution. But the question setter asked you, based on the reading of the text, and make a flowchart showing the cause of water pollution. So you have to find out the cause of information of the water pollution, and this information we have to write down in the box. You cannot write down the cause of other pollution. And how do you write the answer in the box? Your answer may be a word. Your answer may be a phrase. Your answer may be a sentence. According to the action of the question setter. You can state, copy the information from the context. You can also write down the information of your own language, and the marking system will differ. This is the technique of write down flowchart, and these are the common information about flowchart, and this is the target of NCTB to include flowchart in your syllabus, and it's the question number 2 of your first paper. Read the following text and make a flowchart showing the historical events one is done for you. This is the question, or this is the headline. You have to supply information relating to this headline, and your answer may be a word, your answer may be a phrase, and your answer may be a sentence. It will depend on the question setter. And if you go through the text and you read the question, you will easily guess how do you answer the question. Suppose here they say historical events. We have to go through the context and find out the historical information and write down all this information in this box. But my students, listen to me very carefully. You have to write down the first information in the first box, second information in the second box, third information in the third box. You have to maintain the series of information. You cannot write down the second information in the first box or first information in the second box. You cannot write down the information. You have to write down as it is presented in the context. And your answer may be a word, may be a phrase, may be a sentence according to the action of the question. This is the action historical events. Just we pick up or collect the historical events from this context and write down this context in this box. I am reading out the context. The history of Bengal is the history of people who have repeatedly made their highway crimson with their blood. We shed blood in 1952. Even though we were the victors in the election of 1954, we couldn't form this, it's a form, not from, form government then. In 1958, Ayub Khan declared martial laws to enslave us for the next 10 years. In 1969, when we launched the 6-point movement, our boys were shot to death on 7 June. When after the movement of the 1969, Ayub Khan fell from power and Yahya Khan assumed the reins of the government, he later declared that he would give us a constitution and restore democracy. We listened to him then. A lot has happened since an election have taken place. This is the context, and you have already get the historical events, the information about historical events. Then you have to write down the first historical events in the first box. Suppose first historical event shed blood in 1952. You can write down this answer from your own language, or you can just pick up the information and write down in the box. The evaluation may be different. Different examiner will evaluate your answer in different way. So it is better to write down the information in your own language. And then second information, the election of 1950, for this is the 1954. And the third information, historical events, the declaration of martial laws in 1958, this is the information. And then next, 6-point movement in 1966, this is 6-point movement in 1966. I have written the answer of my own language. And then last, the movement of 1969. It is called flow chart, flow of information, series of information. Please friend, maintain social distance and use sanitizer. Always use sanitizer. This is my sanitizer. Use sanitizer to prevent coronavirus always, and sanitize your hand, and then use masks to prevent coronavirus. Please friend, subscribe my channel and share the video with your friends. Thank you very much.